Hey everybody, it's Fun Film Friday, so just give you an update what's going on. Start that one over. Woo! It's Fun Film Friday, so give you an update what's going on. Was just doing a little housekeeping today. Hopefully, nope, not hopefully. I'm going to get into this fabric cover here and get the aluminum strips off of it, out of it. So I got one over there and one here. 2 or 3 pieces left in it. Those fabric strips actually are, let me get down here and get close. So they go inside there and you can see the whole pattern there, there, and there. So you bring and then see that seam right there, which is glue. There's one actually in it right now. Still, I need to get out of there. So what happens here is those strips actually go, I got some clee code on it. When you go to cover this thing, yeah, right here's one. So that piece is clee code in there. So when you go to cover this thing and then you put the fabric over it, if you just glue it here, and if this starts coming unwound during flight, it'll just peel off and you'll have a bad day. So what this strip does is you bring the glue over, put the strip down, and then glue it, and it attaches it physically to here rather than just depending on the adhesion. So I'll try and get those pieces done out of there, cut out of there, and then cut that piece in half, because the paint scheme is the 108 is actually the 8th of the 10th of August. So that's actually the 10th day, month of August. My first 2 grandsons were born on that day. So that's what that 108 is all about. So I'm just gonna cut this in half. One's 16, one's 17. Just cut this in half, give half to one, half to the other, if they want it. I know one of them did. His dad said he wanted to put it in the garage. The other one's 16, still living with his grandma, so he's not sure, but he doesn't have a place to put it. In the meantime, what I'm gonna do to preserve it or to save it before, hopefully it doesn't get thrown away, is just mount it. Just mount the 2 halves, clean the door up, mount it on there. So that's that. Got rid of that whole pile of fairings. 2 of the pieces, actually there was a whole pile, there was 9. So there's 5 pieces up there that are salvageable, and they will look like this. I should have enough to repair them and then hopefully sell them to help finance my project. Anyway, here's some of the other strips that I took out of that fabric, so that's what's going on there. Fixed this one, which is a piece made this over is off a piece out of one of those, which was off those old fairings. So I was able to repair one of them, so it'll go on the one of those ends up there. Doing that and doing some housekeeping. I know it doesn't look like it. It's got a freaking pile sitting around here, but just when you come in and you're tripping over stuff just trying to get in the door, yeah, it's time to stop, clean up, and do something with that. So I'll get to see if I can, I think I may have just figured out, stand this up, this landing gear up, trying to protect it, keep it from getting hurt too, and be able to store it properly till we're ready to go on there. We got to cover it with fabric to go on there, and then we got to paint the cabane struts, which will be those things right there, and then put the fuel top on, which actually is, here's a picture. Not sure if it'll focus, but the cabane struts will go on, and then the center section will go on. That keeps the plane down low. Then you can put the mains on it. Once you do that, that bad boy is over 10 feet tall. So it's just easier to do all that while it's low before you put it up on the gears. So that's that. Let's see, what else has been going on today? Done with the lights. So we're LED saving money instead of burning these big transformers right here, 8 to 10 hours a day. So we're LED now. So that's cool. We'll see how the utility bills go. And while I was cleaning up this, I actually retired my service tool bag. It got retired to the trash can. So took the tools out of it, especially, you know, the wore out tools out of it, filed them away in the cabinets and shelves and chunked the bag. There was another tumbler, which is, which I'll get to the reason why I'm going to discuss that. There was another media tumbler, so you just take this media and I got it at one of the cheap stores. I'm not going to bash anybody, but we all know where you buy cheap tools. And they look great till you use them once and they're disposable. Use them once and throw them away, which is pretty much what happened here. I filled it full of the media, and not full, about half full. Put some cleaner in it to help polish the stuff, and put some nuts and bolts in there. Didn't overload it, and it just shook itself to death. So upgraded. Made the hardware one size bigger. I think it was quarter and I went 3/8, and which made it too strong, and then the motor just vibrated the bucket and it just killed it. So yeah, that didn't work out. So I ordered another 5-pound vibratory tumbler from these guys. So through the magic of filming, you get to watch what I'm going to do. If you notice, it's already been opened. I opened it earlier, so yeah, spoiler alert. Anyway, here it is, covered up, plastic. So we'll take it out and try and do this one here. Good close-up shot of it. Sorry about that. So there we go. Got some instructions. You can see where it come from. And I'll get back to it. This got a nice on top on it right here. And it's got a fender washer and a rubber mount that'll keep this from vibrating loose. Take this off, and I did get a nice little surprise because I had ordered, ta-da, it's got its own media in it, which is kind of cool because I had ordered some over there. Yeah, get this fired up. What this does is you just put rusty bolts in it, like some of these right here, and it'll polish and clean them up. And especially, it will really polish and clean them up if you put some cleaner in there with the, so that's a 2-pound bag. Just like 2-pound bag. It cleans rust and all that off. It just cleans the metal up. They won't straighten it out, but it will. It will, you know, I mean, as far as rust pits, you know, if it's rusted into, there's nothing you can do with it, but it will clean up a lot of stuff. So yeah, just 2 pounds, so it's 5 pounds total tumbler. So I guess that means you could add 3 pounds worth of nuts and bolts. It just sits there and vibrates on these shock absorbers in case you don't know what it is. A lot of the guys that do the reloads clean their brass with that stuff too. So that's been sitting over there for, I don't even know how long, so it's time to put it to use. There was a motor I got with this frame, which is what that motor mount, which is an expensive trash bag holder right now. So yeah. For a 670 Continental. So I disassembled that motor. Ooh, that was a greasy mess. I'm gonna make a coffee table out of the cylinders, but there's part of the motor I need to fill that full of oil so I can protect it. There's the crank and some of the rods and pistons. The cylinders will look like that, and if I can, I'll post a picture if I can find it. that's what I'm gonna do. I got it cleaned up, and I'll take a picture of what I got cleaned up, and then I'll take a picture of where I'm going with that. Oh, wow, that looks like a terrible stain, but it's not. That's just a shadow. Those are wires, control wires. So that's what's going on here. Get some more floor space cleaned up, get organized a little bit better, get some stuff on eBay, try and sell some of the stuff so I can have some funds to play with my toy and going from there. So, yep, that's this Film Fun Fridays update for this week. Hopefully next week we will be a little more organized, have a little bit more floor space, and we'll see how it goes. Check in with me next week. So this is to be continued, huh? Oh, about forgot. Yeah, so we have Zeus fasteners on this thing. And when this thing was originally put together, previous owner, and I need to do a video on all that stuff. Previous owner had it for 19 years. It was covered in silver paint. The wings were covered, but they weren't painted, so, and it was all in pieces. So all it was just a fuselage with this silver color. Had most of the parts there, had to sort out and chase some around the country. Picked up some of those from Western Kentucky, some of those panels, which are, oops, right there. Anyway, so this bracket right here, and I'll take you around the other side, supports a piece right here, and then these Zeus screws along this panel right here, this inspection panel, go into it. There is another bracket that bolts it to the longeron, which is right there. And you really wouldn't know about putting one upside down, right side, wrong side. This does have to be flat. It does have a piece of angle on it. Let me see if I can zoom in there. Yeah, you can see it right there. So it does have a piece of angle. So for that to sit flat or be positioned correctly, it has to sit flat. But you wouldn't really notice it being upside down. The only giveaway is this one's shorter than that one. So what that will do is it will locate this higher or lower if it's inverted and on the other side, which is what it was. I remember, yeah, I'm just going on a long story, but this panel right here was really, really hard to put on. So, not hard to put on, but just hard to fasten down. So, right along here is that bracket that holds this one right here. So, let's take these Zeus fasteners off. They're just quarter turn. Try not to scratch anything up too awful much. If you notice, that's not too bad. So, should be firm, but not impossible. Use this in racing too for panels. So you just raise it up and there's that panel. Here's that bracket, and what I had is, let's get over here, is these two were on the opposite sides. So we're on the wrong sides. So what that was doing was, instead of this top piece being straight, straight-ish, along, it's not too bad, along the top there, it was actually pulled in, and it was actually bowed, so it was like that. So when this panel went down, instead of it being straight, instead of the panel being straight, it was actually bowed in. And it was really, really hard because the wing, the forward wing, this is leading edge to the forward wing, and then you got the landing gear mounts right here. And so instead of, let me go put this back together, just turn the quarter turn fasteners, and they have to line up. So, and then you just Doing this one-handed. Normally you wouldn't do this one-handed. That's a two-hand job. But that's how much easier it is to do it now. Just turn these quarter-turn screws in, and it's fairly straight. So, but before it was cupped, if you will, and you had to really push hard to get it to engage on the springs of the Zeus fastener. So yeah, sorted that out, got that straightened out. There's just more brackets that just keep going and going. Did put some, I'm not sure, can't remember the last video, but yeah, we were talking about putting this on. So this got some more hardware, but actually I got distracted on cleaning up that and cleaning up floor space. So that's where we're at this week. Keep pushing on. We shall endeavor to persevere. Josie Wales. I just talked to a guy, Shed by the Tracks, man. Check him out. Yeah, he's doing a Model T, and it's pretty cool. It actually looks like a Model T racer. It doesn't look like, you know, hokey and put together by, you know, I don't want to disparage any groups, but you know, it doesn't look homemade. It looks really cool. It looks like, you know, something that might have went together back in the day, and it doesn't look hokey at all. He's doing a good job on it. Anyway, Shed by the Track. Anyway, endeavor to persevere. That's what we're trying to do. So I got to put the metal from here to there, see if it'll all line up, which are the arm sides to that rear cockpit, and then that panel up there, which is the baggage, which goes over the back, and then the back headrest. So yeah, once you get all that lined up, and then it's time to tighten all these brackets down right here that hold this. These are 8L clamps for the radio and other stuff, but these brackets bolt to this fairing, and they need to be tightened down, but you can't, I mean, it has to be located first. Once you tighten them down, because once we get the cover on this, get it painted and put it back, and then you're trying to, now you got all these little holes where this hardware goes. It's like, uh-oh, it's not lining up, so that'd be a bad thing. Get it all lined up, get all the sheet metal on it, get all the screws in it, then you know you're good. Tighten up all your clamps, then it won't move. Then put your fabric on it, and then you should, you know, tighten up all the clamps and take all the sheet metal off, because it can't be on there when you go to be covering it with the fabric and stuff. And then it comes time to put it all back together. It should be good to go. So, as I was saying before, we had a little running joke, as here's the reason why we wrecked this bullet hole here, but it's not really true. It was one of the roll wires that went through the sheet metal when it broke. I need to put together, I'll see if I can get around to it, actually flying this aircraft, having fun with it. I think I had 58 hours on it from its restoration, which a lot of that was break-in time. Let's see how many hours is on the hobs there. Oh, I can't see, 58, 59. That was total, that's runtime on the engine, that's not air time. That was actually runtime. So I got a pressure switch in the oil system that tell you how many actual hours is on the motor instead of just a pitot system with it, that air time. So it's a real engine runtime. We put it together, we flew it, was taking lessons in it, having fun. So maybe I can do a video and have some of that going. And then the scene of the accident, I did download a couple of those. So I had that in mind to tell you why I'm going through this whole thing now, rebuilding this little devil. Or maybe an explanation for the 2.0. Could have been the 1.1, because the 1.0 was the first one. Got this as a project, I think I mentioned this earlier, off a guy who had it for 19 years, and then I got it, and took a break from it for 3 years after I got it. But I mean, I got it and worked on it, and then life started happening to me. Had some other stuff happen, and you know, blah, blah, blah. Took 3 years break and then got back after it. So it took me 3.5 years to do it the first time. I've been at it now for about a year. It was last February, so it's been 11 months since this thing right here looked like that up there. Now it did come with some parts on it, and I stripped them off, like I said, the engine and this motor mount and stuff like that. So anyway, been about a year. Did work on this for a summer to get this rebuilt, get that going. So yeah, let's see if I can maybe give an explanation of why we have a 2.0 going on now. So that's what's going on this week. Yeah, I did some YouTube video tutorials of how to start a channel, how to yada, yada, yada. And I was like, I was going through some of the old stuff and it's like, man, who's that old man on there sighing and carrying on? It's kind of weird, see yourself filming and doing stuff, but man, maybe not even filming, just talking and saying, what the hell did I say that for? Oops. Hopefully YouTube won't catch that on the editing part. We can edit that right out. Yeah, don't worry about that. So you see a lot of guys that are really good, and or ladies. I'm sorry, ladies. A lot of peoples that are pretty good at this stuff, and I'm just trying to learn filming this on my iPhone. But they all said one thing. I watched 3 or 4 of them, and all the people with the YouTube channels, the 150,000 subscribers, they said, start filming and be consistent, be diligent with posting them, and get after it. And all of them said do it. So that's what I'm trying to do. Maybe I'll get comfortable, and maybe some of this is interesting where somebody might want to see it. So we'll see what happens. That's it for this week. See ya.